Deuteronomy Chapter 5, the 10 Commandments repeated. Lots of repetition in this book, but we're reading because you know what? Hearing it over and over and over. This is what we need to be hearing. You hear enough of this over and over in your head all day long, right? Like you hear enough. There's enough on the news. There's enough bad things on the news. I don't think there's not many good things on the news. There's enough stuff on social media. There's enough things that you hear over and over that are not benefiting you. Nothing wrong with this because this is going to benefit you. Listen to it. It'll bring life to you. I promise. Just keep with it. And you're here. So that's awesome. All right. Then Moses summoned all of Israel and said to them, "Hear, O Israel, the statutes and judgments which I am speaking today in your hearing, so that you may learn from them and observe them carefully. The Lord our God made a covenant with us at Horeb. The Lord did not make this covenant with our fathers, but with us, all of us who are alive here today. The Lord spoke with you face to face at the mountain from the midst of the fire. I was standing between the Lord and you at this time to declare to you the word of the Lord, for you were afraid because of the fire and did not go up the mountain," he said. "I am the Lord your God who brought you out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of slavery. You shall have no other gods before me. You shall not make for yourself an idol or any likeness of what is in heaven above or on the earth beneath or in the waters under the earth. You shall not worship them or serve for them, for I, the Lord your God, am a jealous," says impassioned God, demanding what is rightfully and uniquely mine, visiting and avenging the iniquity, the sin, the guilt of the fathers on the children, that is, calling the children to account for the sins of their fathers to the third and fourth generation of those who hate me, but showing graciousness and loving kindness to the thousands of generations of those who love me and keep my commandments. You shall not take the name of the Lord your God in vain, that is, irreverently, in false affirmations or in ways that impugn the character of God. For the Lord will not hold guiltless nor leave unpunished the one who takes his name in vain, disregarding its reverence and its power. Observe the Sabbath day to keep it holy, as the Lord your God commanded you. 6 days you shall labor and do all your work, but on the seventh day is a Sabbath, a day of rest dedicated to the Lord your God. On that day you shall not do any work, you or your sons or your daughters, or your male servant or your female servant, or your ox or your donkey, or any of your livestock, or the stranger who stays inside your city gates, so that your male servants and your female servants may rest as well as you. You shall remember with thoughtful concern that you were a slave in the land of Egypt, and that the Lord your God brought you out of there with a mighty hand and by an outstretched arm. Therefore the Lord your God has commanded you to observe the Sabbath day. Honor, respect, obey, and care for your father and mother, as the Lord your God has commanded you, so that your days on earth may be prolonged, and so that it may go well with you in the land which the Lord your God gives you. You shall not murder, you shall not commit adultery. You shall not steal, you shall not give false testimony that lies, withholds, or manipulates the truth against your neighbor, any persons. You shall not covet, that is, desire and seek to acquire your neighbor's wife. Who's your neighbor? There's many that are your neighbors, not just the one next door. Nor desire your neighbor's house. People on social media. Or his field, his yard, his male servant, what he has, his female servant, his ox or his donkey, his car, his things that he has. We should not covet them, or anything that belongs to your neighbor. Moses interceded. The Lord spoke these words with a great voice to all of your assembly of the mountain out of the midst of fire, the cloud, and the thick darkness, and he added no more. He wrote those commandments on 2 tablets of stone and gave them to me. And when you heard the voice in the midst of the darkness, which the mountain was burning with fire, you approached me and all the leaders of your tribes and your elders. And you said, "Behold, the Lord our God has shown us his glory and his greatness, and we have heard his voice from the midst of the fire. We have seen today, and God speaks with man, yet he still lives. Then, why should we die? For this great fire will consume us if we hear the voice of the Lord our God any longer, then we will die. For who is there of all flesh, mankind, who has heard the voice of the living God speaking from the midst of the fire as we haven't lived? You, Moses, go near and listen to everything the Lord our God says. Then speak to us everything that the Lord our God speaks to you, and we will listen and do it." And we listened and we did it. I listened to the word and I did. No, how many, they keep faltering. "The Lord heard your words when you have spoke to me. And the Lord said to me, I have heard the words of these people which they have spoken to you. They have done well in all that they have spoken. Oh, that they have such a heart in them that they would fear and worship me with awe-filled reverence and profound respect, and keep all my commandments always, that may go well with them and with their children forever." Do you think that God says this for us? That everybody, that their hearts, that they would fear and worship me. It's not that you don't fear or worship God, but that you would just do it with awe-filled reverence and profound respect and know. And we do that because we know he's going to take care of us. We know that by faith he's going to do these things. We have to know these things. Then why? Why? So it goes well with them and with your children forever. to have that faith, that unyielding, unwavering faith. That's beautiful. Go and say to them, return to your tents, just as for you, stand here by me, and I will tell you all the commandments and the statutes and the judgments which you shall teach them, so they may obey them in the land which I gave them to possess. Therefore you shall pay attention and be careful to do just as the Lord your God has commanded you. You shall not turn aside to the right or to the left. No, stay straight. You shall walk, that is, live each and every day in all the ways which the Lord your God has commanded you, so that you may live and so that it may be well with you, and you may live long in the land which you will possess. Lots of truths. We just got to stay on that focus. It's so easy to get off kilter. I am guilty of that and need that daily reminder. So I'm glad you're here. This is your daily Bible chapter reading God's Word Monday through Friday. See you tomorrow.